Throughout this course, we've been using action hooks. There's another type of hook called filter hooks. Filter hooks are similar to action hooks, except for one thing. They are passed a value, and you're expected to return a value. In most cases, it's a modified version of the passed-in value. We're going to be using our first filter hook, so get ready. Let's view our recipe post on the front end. As you can see, our post is displaying like any other post. The only thing missing is our recipe data. There are a couple of ways we can go about this. The recommended way is by using a filter hook. Filter hooks can be used by using the add_filter function. This function works exactly the same as add_action. For our post, I want to add the recipe data right above the content. So, I want to use a hook called the_content. This hook is triggered when the content of a post or page is being displayed. The name of the function I want to run is called r_filter_recipe_content. Let's create a file in the process folder called filter-content.php and define our function here. Make sure to include it from the plugin file. Unlike action hooks, filter hooks will always pass in something for you to filter. The_content hook will pass in the contents of the post. We'll call this argument content. Inside our function, you should always return the content. Let's see what happens if you don't return something. Refresh our post and you'll see our content disappears. Let's return the content from our post and you should now see the content reappear. This function will actually apply to all post types. We need to make sure this only applies to recipes. We also need to check if this is a single post and not an excerpt. We're going to check both of these using one function called is_singular. This function will check if this is a single post. We can also pass this function a post type. The post type we want to check is recipe. If this function returns false, then we'll just return the $content. Otherwise, we'll continue on with filtering the post. Let's create the HTML that will be used to display the recipe data. Create a file inside the process folder called recipe-template.php. Add the following HTML. This is just regular HTML. We only have an unordered list. There's one thing you'll notice though. We have these all caps words such as ingredients_ph. The ph stands for placeholder. We're going to grab this file and its contents and replace the placeholders with our data. First things first, let's grab this template. From within our filter, I'm going to create a variable called recipe_html. I'll assign the value returned by the function file_get_contents. The file I want to get is our template recipe-html.php. I'm also going to set the second parameter to true. This will make the function work just like the include function now. To check if this is working, I'm going to return recipe_html and append the content with it, like so. Let's refresh the page and you should now see our template right before the content. Now all we have to do is replace these placeholders with our recipe data. First, we have to grab our metadata. Just like last time, we can use the get_post_meta function. However, first we need the post ID. Lucky for us, WordPress will create a variable named post. This variable is a global variable. Now we have access to all this post's properties. Let's create the recipe_data variable and grab our metadata like so. From here, we use a function called str_replace. The first parameter is the name of the string we want to replace. In our case, we want to replace the ingredients placeholder and replace it with the actual ingredients from our metadata. The third parameter is string that will be searched. It's as simple as that. I want you to do this for the rest of our placeholders. You should now have something similar to what I have. Let's refresh our page and you'll now see our data. This is the power of filter hooks. They're similar to action hooks, except you will receive data to filter and be expected to return that filtered data.